This is not something that we talk about a whole lot in church, but we claim that we follow Jesus and we want to be Christ-like, but we don't really emphasize the thing that Jesus said was the greatest commandment of them all. Jesus said, love God with your heart, soul, mind, and your strength. And then the second part is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. And he says, everything in the law and everything in the prophets hinge on these two, right? So love for God and love for neighbor as self go together. Like you can't separate them because everything hinges on both of them. Now, what fundamentalist Christians do is they try to separate love for God and love for neighbor as self, because they say, and not even fundamentalist Christians, like this is something that even progressive people struggle with, like the connection between love for God and love for neighbor as self. They'll say, you got to love God first. You got to love God first. And I'm like, what does that even look like? Right? Because that shifts from context to context. But when Jesus said the second part is like it, the word like in English is a translation decision, because in the original language of the text, the Greek word that is used there means of equal rank. So love for God is of equal rank with love for neighbor as self. And I believe of equal rank is a better translation, because in the next verse, Jesus says everything hinges on these two together. You can't separate them. So Jesus says your love for God is expressed in how you love your neighbor, and your love for your neighbor is a reflection of how you love yourself. So
What if people
self-love,
are loving their neighbors as they love themselves, which is to say, not at all?
exactly. Exactly. So if you love yourself like, and you love your neighbor like, that is a reflection of how you love God.
This video that I made on TikTok, and people were big mad at me. They were just like, you wrong. You don't know what you talk about. I was just like, self-love is not self-taught. It happens in community,
Yeah.
which means that if your community teaches you, you hold on to and you repeat it, you gift it to others, and it becomes this cycle of self and other abuse.